Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Today is our last day here at Kye Bay. I'm on a personal retreat with my soul brother, Brad Gamble. I'm so grateful to experience this once again. This is probably my 14th times here. I'm not sure, but it is such an honor and a blessing from the abundant universe to be in a space where you can co-create and write the Akashic records. So my intention in coming here was to write the last chapters of our Lord Shiva. Shiva is the god of destruction, and it is so prevalent that we are in a very destructive force right now. That means the darkness, the Kali Yuga. So Shiva is the deity from the religion of Shivaism and Hinduism. So there's that trinity, Brahma and Vishnu. But Shiva is the one that I am connecting to and giving the message for the 9 weeks karma clearing. So it is a book that's coming up this summer with divine will and grace. I'll be able to give this. It feels like a childbirth when you're writing a book, because it is a creation. It's like an incubation, right? So all these thoughts, your knowledge, your wisdom, your healing, your downloads, your information messages that you're receiving are all being assimilated in your system, and how you are able to give birth to this creation. So I feel we are in the preface of transition. This transition needs a radical transparency to your truth, to free you from illusions of separation, to free us from the heaviness and the density of our creations from old timelines dating back to our human genome. And this human genome is in quickening. That means we are accelerating rapidly into creating a new template. And what is a new template? The new template of creation is about remembering our true essence. And our true essence is actually that source that we are returning to home. So returning to home is the holism, the wholesomeness, coming back to our soul hologram. So we are this holographic matrix, that a fractal of us is coexisting in a parallel alternate multiverses, simultaneously co-creating with the source of divine light. And in to simplify this, is a part of you that is anchored in the present moment, like this. So our body, our physical dimension, is the vessel to anchor all these timelines in our multidimensional state of being. So, for example, our emotional state, our mental state, our etheric, our astral body, these are all the expansion of our physical dimension. So we are not only the body, but we are multiple bodies of our creation. So that is the blueprint. So we have this huge blueprint that is in the Akash, which is the Akashic fields of creation. So that's the 0 point field. That means before we can create something in this physical manifestation, we have to tap into the Akashic field, to tap into our blueprints to create this divinity within us, the divine blueprint. So that is the main path of contraction and expansion. So when we're in our body, we are contracted. And then when we tap into the multi-dimensions of our state of being, which is our true essence, we are expansive. And that's the source. Just like the vast ocean, right? We are like this, a pebble. We're like this pebble. We are like the tide, the wave. And that is the collective. Each one of us has a participation in the quantum soup, right? All these languages are actually vibrations. So when you're resonating to this language, you are resonating to the frequency of the love and light, the radiance of the great central sun. Not this physical sun, but there is a great central sun that is co-creating all of our planetary body. So we can go beyond limitations, beyond the comprehension of your mind, because that is tapping into the divine creator or creation, and we are all in this together. We are the creator and the creation. So in this retreat that I am in, it was extended for 2 more days. So I was supposed to be home already, but I was being called, and my soul brother asked me, I'm invited to extend my stay. And that feels such a blessing, a divine grace, to write this channeling. And the last 2 chapters was about Shiva and Green Tara. Green Tara is the mother of compassion, and she is a powerful goddess that helps us to release and clear this 8, I'm not sure now, 8 or 7, kind of like this 7 deadly sins, right? Lust, sloth, the attachments, the laziness, the greediness, right? The anger, wrath. These are all low vibrations that we all have in our system, that we're recalibrating into a higher frequency of the higher mind, the higher consciousness, which is bringing us to an open, expansive mind of creation. And while I was here, we were experiencing a lot of death, mainly because we needed to release and clear our personal experience from the loss of our sons. So I lost Theo from the mental illness, through suicide. It's that snap of the brain, and through that, the bigger picture of that incarnation of my son is the organ donation, because he is alive in these 4 people with his 2 kidneys, liver, and lungs. So for me, death is a transition into the spiritual dimension, but it doesn't mean that we are disconnected to the physical, because we are dimensional. So I could connect and communicate with Theo, and that is actually interweaving, interconnecting to all these people that he had touched. And he's sending also beings that are going to assist me in my healing. So it's so amazing how we are all interwoven like a tapestry, and each thread is the thread of divinity. And that's the book that I'm referring, is the Divine Thread. I started reading the Divine Thread by Swami Keranata when I was starting the Collective Awakening book. And I picked up on this retreat, and it's showing me the way to the stillness of the soul, the stillness of our mind, the stillness of our heart. And when we self-realize that there is really nothing that we need to do to attune us into that Shakti, the fire that ignites our heart, that connects us to the Tantra, the Tantric cosmic universe, the electrical universe. It is in unification of our existence, that inner knowing that we are so much loved. And when you're coming from that pure intention, you have purified your egoic mind. The egoic mind is a force that is a part of our human genome. And that egoic mind is like a construction, right? It's a thought construction. It constructs. So that means it builds a defense mechanism. It has a facade. It has a mask, right? A covering. It's like the covering of the soul. The covering of the soul. We're covering our soul. And the message is to unmask and to fully express your authentic self, your authenticity, your vulnerability. And if we can share our openness and see the other person as an invitation to open more, to feel more, to see beyond drama, then we are coming from the filter of unification. It is the unified love. When we're able to see love and not fear. But because we are going through this dark night of the soul, the darkness, the Kali Yuga, we are ushering the golden light. And to usher a golden consciousness, the golden era, that's a high vibration, right? The golden liquid light. To usher that in, we need to release and let go of the destructive force of separation, of the illusion. Because the illusory mind creates the separation. So, in this note, I'm inviting you to reflect, to spend time in nature, to meditate, to be at one with divine creation. Sending you so much love for those who are suffering in the finding of the 215 indigenous children, and for those people that were killed because of the Muslim, racial discrimination, prejudice, hatred. Let us all bend our knees to cover this, to unmask the soul. I love you all. And may you find peace. Namaste.